All right, I'm starting out here a little frustrated. I just lost a 10-minute video because of bad microphoning, bad headphones, whatever. So I got this set on now. Hopefully improve things. Maybe improve the quality too, not just actually work. So I'm speaking about morale in families, and I was talking about leadership, and clearly what I'm referring to there is parents. And a lot of good stuff that I lost here, but I'll review a couple of points. You know, we need a license to drive a car. Anybody can have kids, and the fact that you can have kids, you know, might be a right, but it's also a privilege, and it's not treated enough like a privilege. There's far too many people not giving a shit about the job whatsoever, and you know that's a function of their dysfunction. Right? You take a dysfunctional person and you make them a parent, they can't suddenly become functional. And so the rule there is that your dysfunction is being passed on, it's being transmitted. If not as something that causes dysfunction in your children, it at least causes the challenge for them to overcome that it might otherwise lead to dysfunction on their part. Not every child of an alcoholic, for instance, is totally screwed up. It's predictable that there'll be emotional and psychological challenges if that was your upbringing. And so, you know, the character of each individual facing the circumstances of their life determines a lot of the outcome. Nonetheless, do you really want to be the negative circumstances of your children's life? Is that really what you want to do? If you're listening to this, you know, conversation here that I'm having, odds are you're interested in being the best you can be as a parent. Right? Isn't that the kind of commitment we tend to bring to a job that A, is that important, and B, is that thoroughly based on love? So completely based on love? So I kind of want to assume the best. Remove the dysfunction from individuals and you have a potential for a decent enough, good enough, if not great parent. And this is really a call to action. You know, you want to stop addiction in the next generation? Well, limit and heal the dysfunction that is being experienced by the current generation, because then they won't be passing it on. This stuff runs in families because it gets recreated. It gets created in the emotional environment that you know, children grow up dysfunctional, become parents. They haven't healed. They pass on their dysfunction because they create a dysfunctional emotional environment. I talked about in the last video about morale as it relates to a team, and then drawing the parallel between the family and a team. And if the leaders of the team are demoralized or demoralizing, and they often tend to go hand in hand, we can't expect the team to perform well in the game of life. It's that simple. Unfortunately, it's not like the major leagues. You can't just fire parents and get new managers. You know, when we try to, we work at it because of the love and dependency bonds. That's not so easy. And it wasn't easy for the Oilers to let go of Gretzky. You know, he was so loved, so important, such a fixture. Great baseball managers. You know, same sort of thing. So I don't know, what is it with us that we think we shouldn't be examining this and there shouldn't be some outcry about the failure for parents to step up? In essence, you know, healing the leftover baggage from their earlier life so that they don't pass it on to their children. This should be something that we're all considering, not just maybe doing perhaps because it makes some sense, but a kind of obligating ourselves and each other to doing it. Why are we obligating ourselves to do it? I don't know. That's the $64 million rhetorical question. I don't really want it to be rhetorical. I want to look you in the face as a parent and say, what are you doing to make sure you're the best possible parent you can be? And then even more particularly, what are you doing relative to the dysfunction in your history and the dysfunction in your current life? that is prohibiting you from being a better parent. What are you doing about that? We could legislate anything. I would legislate assessment and psychotherapy for everybody. Of course, I would legislate how it gets done, too. Go team.